Hey everyone, today I am here to do a what sold video to share with you a little recap of my sales on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop for the month of August. So, if you saw my last one, you would know that I upped my goal from $1,000 in net sales or net profit to 1,500 in net profit. Well, I think I was being a little too ambitious there. I was hoping for that, but August was a bit hard for me to keep up. I did not list 3 items every single day consistently. I did list consistently, but not 3 items a day. A lot of times I was only able to get 1 listing up or 2 listings for various reasons, whether that be time that I had, whether that be that I was just mentally not capable of doing it because I was just so stressed out from work, or because I didn't have enough inventory photographed to list throughout the period of time that I had. So those are kind of the reasons why I feel I didn't meet that new goal this past month. I did reach my $1,000 goal, but I did not meet the 1,500. I will go over a quick recap of just a few numbers to throw at you as an overall amount. So I made $1,010.43 of net profit. When I say net profit, I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess I should say my take-home pay after shipping and platform fees and things like that. So this is the money that went into my bank account. So this is not taking out cost of goods, I guess, or any other expenses that I had for that month. And I sold 38 items last month, and my average sales price was $26.59. So my ASP was actually slightly higher than last month, but the number of items I sold was less by about 10 items. So I feel like if I would have listed as many as I listed last month, I may have sold more, and I definitely feel like I would have hit the new goal. I feel like I would have hit the 1,500 goal. So that's mostly on me. Now we're going to break it down into a couple different sections of a handful of items to talk about. One is my worst sales, so my lowest dollar amount sales. My best sales, my higher dollar amount sales, so anything 50 and above, and my quickest sales. So we're going to actually start with my quickest sales this time around. I feel like I usually leave this to the end, but I only have one. And now I say this as in, like, when I typically tell you guys about a quick sale, it's like within a week. It's sold within a week from me listing it. Now, obviously, there have been other sales that have sold within like 2 weeks and 3 weeks, a month, stuff like that. But for me, I am like hyper focused on these super quick flips. That's what I kind of want to point out to you guys, because just maybe call more attention to it or talk about why it might have been a quick flip. So let's just jump into that. So the one quick flip this past month sold within 6 days of me listing it. They were a men's pair of Lululemon pants. They were gray. They were size 38, and I did accept a 55, I think, % off offer. I try not to accept things lower than 50%, or even 50%. Sometimes I'm kind of like, do I really want to accept that? But this was closer to the end of the month, I think, and I had not hit that sales goal. So I was like, I guess I'm gonna accept any like semi-fair offer. Also, I think this item, I actually realized when they sent me the offer that when I checked comps, like sold comps in that moment when they gave me that offer, they were actually around that amount. They offered me $30 for it. And the reason why I wasn't happy with that at first was because I sold the shorts, Lululemon men's shorts, for $30, $35, $40, $45. So I'm like, why would I sell a pair of pants for that price, right? But when I checked comps, that's what comps were telling me. Sold comps were telling me, yeah, lately, recently, they've been selling for around $30. So I accepted the offer because I guess it was fair and I want to make sales. Like, I don't want to be a storage unit here. I want to sell these items. I do need to make a profit on them. What I'm trying to say here is I accepted the offer and it sold quickly. Also, my little doodads, my things that pop out my hair, just ignore them because they are starting to bother me, but I don't want to keep messing with them. So they're there and they're gonna just ping out whenever they feel like it. So next, let's talk about, how about let's just go into our not so great sales. So we'll start with the worst, which was actually very recently. It was the very end of the month that these sold, and they sold on eBay auction. If you haven't seen these videos before, almost always my eBay auctions are my worst sales. I am putting them on auction as a last resort type of situation, like otherwise they're going to be redonated, so, or given to ThredUp or whatever, taken to Plato's. But so I made a couple of bucks off of these. I actually made more off of these doing an auction and selling them for dirt cheap than I would have giving them to ThredUp and them selling on ThredUp and me bringing them into Plato's. I guarantee you. So even though these are pitiful sales, it's something. And so I'm still grateful for them. Okay, so we have two $5 sales, which is my starting bid on my eBay auctions. The first one is a Peter Millar V-neck sweater. It was a green, new without tags sweater. It did have like a company logo, like embroidered logo on it, so wasn't the best, but it sold for $5 and I will make $255 all said and done. That's actually my net. I'm actually telling you my net there, because I feel like with these low sales, it just makes sense to tell you that. All right, so my next $5 sale was White House Black Market sweater, another sweater, and well, it was more of a cardigan, but it was black and white, size small, and like I said, sold for the one bid, $5, and I profited $3.08. Next up was another item that I put on eBay auction, but this one got bid up slightly. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. It was a quarter zip gray long sleeve sweater, size large. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes here. And this one sold for $6.50. Not $5, so I'm not complaining. And I profited $3.95 from that one. Next was a $15 sale. And why was this 15? Oh, okay, so this was like my first sale of August, and this was when I did, like, when I was clearing things out, kind of like I do with my eBay auctions at the very end of the month. This was from Poshmark, and this was a silent show. Again, me clearing out items from the previous month, and this sold for $15. It was a pair of Lucky Brand shoes. They're like a cutout brown. Were these the booties? I can't remember 100%. But I will have them here for you. Hopefully I'm sitting over enough for me to put in the pictures. These were a size 9, and yeah, I sold them for $15. So, you know, I'm glad they went. I'm glad they went. And then we had another pretty low sale. This one was an offer that I did accept. Normally I would not accept this low of an offer, but this was another item that I was about to donate, like literally about to donate. And I got this offer and I was like, yeah, this isn't a great offer, but I either donate it tomorrow or I accept this offer, which is very rare for me to accept this kind of low offer. So I'm just putting that out there. So I accepted an $18 offer on this, which I believe was a 50% off offer from my lowest price that I had it marked at. And yeah, so those are my worst sales. I mean, honestly, not too bad. Normally I have a lot more $5 sales, so I'm not complaining. I am happy with that. And again, otherwise they would have been donated, given to Plato's, ThredUp. I would not have made what I made on these if I would have done any of those options. So still very grateful. Now let's move into our top dollar sales, our really good sales that we had this past month. We're gonna start with our, here we go, $50 sale. We have a $50 sale. And this was, oh, let me tell you, this has a little bit of a story time to it, and I'm kind of not thrilled about it, but everything worked out. It's a bit of a bummer. So this was a Reformation skirt, and I was so excited when I got this sale. It was a $50 sale, and it was a really tiny little mini skirt. It was plaid. It was very like academia kind of style. It was a size 6, and this sold on Poshmark, and I shipped it out I think this might have been like a weekend sale or something, and I shipped it out on Monday, and it never arrived. It never arrived to the person. It ended up at their post office, like the post office in their town, at in their location. Like, it just didn't get, for some reason, delivered to them. Like, there was never an attempt to have it delivered. Nothing. It literally just stayed at their post office. And I don't know if they were ever notified to go pick it up or what. It was very odd. And this person did really want this skirt. Like, they like messaged me and was like, hey, like, can you ship this out any sooner, blah, blah, blah. Like, they really wanted it. And so, like, it never showed up. It never got delivered to them. So I felt really bad because I knew this person really wanted this item, and I wanted it to get to them, right? So I contacted the post office, and they looked into it and all this stuff, and they said that it was stuck at the post office because they were going to actually do a return to sender or something like that. I don't know. They couldn't give me a lot of details, to be honest, but they basically told me that my return address was not on there. Like, it didn't exist on the label. Like, they told me that the return address was the same address as it was being delivered to. So essentially they were telling me that the address that was the buyer's address was also in 2 places. It wasn't, but anyway, in 2 places, and it was also the return address, so it couldn't go anywhere. So it was stuck at this post office. So they said. But I looked at the label, and clearly that was not true. So I don't know if something happened to the package and my return address was not legible. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe something happened to the label itself, and so they weren't able to deliver it, and they weren't able to send it back, or it just vanished at this post office facility before it was able to be delivered. Like I said, I reached out to the post office. They created a case for me. They were very kind and very nice about it. And I actually just yesterday got an email saying that Poshmark had looked into this, and it got lost in the mail. They basically said, this is a lost package, and we are refunding the buyer, and we are refunding you we are paying you out your money you would have gotten anyway as the seller. So really happy to hear that neither of us got, you know, gypped of our money, but I know the buyer really wanted the skirt, and so I'm really bummed that they weren't able to get it, and that something happened to it in like the shipping process. It really sucks. So, you know, what can you do in that situation? There's not a whole lot you can do. I felt really bad, but at the same time, like, I'm just glad that Poshmark and the post office were able to figure something out. But yeah, I've never had that happen before. I've had the situations happen before where it was never delivered, but it got sent back to me, and then I just had to relist it. I did not get paid out for those items. But anyway, it was a sale. My earnings did come through yesterday after Poshmark sent that message, so it's still valid to talk about. Next sale, oh, actually I have a $52 sale, which is a very interesting price. Oh, this sold on eBay, and this was, I believe this was an offer for a pair of B Vertigo leggings. They were like a horse riding legging. They had like grippy butt, not pad, but like grippies on the bum area or the thigh area. They were a size 28, and yeah, it was a $52 sale. Oh, it was a 30% off discount. We have a $55 sale next, and this one was a Madewell pair of jeans, denim, and these were the perfect vintage jean. I've actually sold 2 now of the perfect vintage denim from Madewell, and I think I have another one listed still. It might be a smaller size, I can't remember. But this was a size 28 that sold, and this one, like I said, sold for $55, which was my full asking price, which was really amazing. I don't get a ton of those, so very, very grateful for that. My next sale is now on to $60, and this was another pair of leggings. These were Marcella, which I guess is a really like expensive brand, and they were just a pair of black faux leather leggings. They were brand spanking new, size small, and these ones sold on Poshmark, like I said, for $60, which was a 20% off discount. And with this one, I actually had like the same brand, like small reusable bag, and I just went ahead and wrapped the leggings in that bag and sent them the leggings and the bag. I didn't say in my listing that I had the bag or that I was sending the bag with it, but I just thought it was a nice little extra. I mean, I had it, and why not send it with something that is the brand, you know? So hopefully they appreciated that. Hopefully they liked it, and I mean, I don't really care if they didn't want it or not, or if they ended up just getting rid of it afterwards, but I thought it was a nice little touch since I had it. So we've got 2 more like over 50 sales. Okay, so this one, how much was it? This one sold for $64. This is a John Elliott sweater. This was, I believe this was cashmere or wool and cashmere. This was a size 2, which I believe John Elliott has like a different sizing, so a 2 means something else. I don't think it's actually a size 2. I've actually had this for, I feel like, a while, so I was really happy when it ended up selling. I thought it would sell for a whole lot more than $64, but I had lowered the price multiple times, and this was an offer that either I gave out like through Likers, like an offer through Likers, or they sent me a 20% offer. I'm not sure which, but regardless, $64, I was happy with that. Last higher dollar sale. Now, I didn't actually reach any $100 sales, I noticed. Where in the past I usually have at least one higher dollar sale, but that's okay. That's okay. This was a $79 sale, which again I'm very grateful for, very happy with. This was a pair of Lululemon pants as well, but these were women's. They were a size extra small, and these were like a very new style, I think, because it had the square, the size dot. The size dot was not a dot, it was a square. And these sold on Poshmark, and actually these were my full asking price. This was like either a price that it was lowered to, or like an automated lowered price, because I would not mark something at $79 on Poshmark, but it was a full price sale, so I think it just had been lowered. Very, very happy when that sale came through. I actually thought those would sell a lot faster, but I'm still very happy with that. So I think that kind of wraps everything up. That kind of gives an overview of the good, the bad, the ugly, how I did this past month. I think going forward, maybe I lower my expectations back to $1,000. I don't know. I really, really want to be making more than that at this point, but I also don't want to feel like I failed. I kind of feel a little disappointed that I didn't meet my new goal, which it was the first time I had made the goal was for this past month, so it's okay that I didn't make it the first time around. I guess we'll just see. We'll just see what September has in store for me. I really hope I can be better about my listing. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time. Oh, I do want to ask you guys, if you made it to the end of this video, let me know down below what was your best sale that you had this past month if you resell, or if you don't resell, what's your favorite item that you've purchased just in general this past month? That'd be really fun to know too. Okay, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. Have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye.